All right, example 3. Which data display can you use to compare the number of students that completed 10 to 19 push-ups with the number of students that completed 20 to 29 push-ups? Explain. So we're going to look at the histogram and we have the circle graph or the pie chart. So if you look at the histogram, we're comparing the number of students that completed 10 to 19 push-ups with the number that completed 20 to 29 push-ups. And so I circled the two bars that we're comparing in the histogram, and I know that we have 5 students that completed 10 to 19 push-ups and 10 that completed 20 to 29 push-ups. And in the circle graph, we're going to look at those same colors. So 40% of the students completed 20 to 29 push-ups, whereas only 20% completed 10 to 19 push-ups. So when I compare those amounts, it's asking me to compare the number of students. So if you look at this, the best data display to compare the number of students would really be the histogram, because then I can tell the number of students. It tells me the number of students on the left side. The circle graph tells me the percent of students. And unless I know, if I don't know how many students are in the class, I actually don't know how many students 20% or 40% is. I could make an estimate based off of probably classes that I might have had. However, it's not actually telling me the number of students. So we're going to say the histogram shows the number of students in each interval versus the circle graph shows the percent and you don't know the number of students. When given only the percent. Now, based off the question, the circle graph might be more helpful in certain aspects if you're trying to compare percentage-wise the number of students. However, when it's asking for the actual number of students, the better choice in this case would be histogram. All right, our last question is, using the data display from example 3, can you conclude that everyone in the class did at least one push-up? And explain. So let's go back up to the data displays. So we look at either of these pictures. If you look at the first, at the histogram, we know that one push-up would be between the interval of 0 to 9. Okay? And we know that 3 people did 0 to 9 push-ups. And the same thing with the circle graph. We know 12% of the class did 0 to 9 push-ups. However, can we say that everybody did at least one push-up? And we can't, because of those 3 students, or 12% of students, they could have done 0 push-ups. Okay, so we don't know for sure based off of the information given unless we actually had the numbers that they used to make this data, to group it. We cannot say for sure that everybody did one push-up. So we're going to say no, because the interval is 0 to 9 push-ups. So some students could have done 0 push-ups. We can't tell if this is true. From this data. And because we can't tell if it's true, we cannot make a conclusion to say that everybody did at least 1 push-up. We would need other data to prove that this is actually true.